It's the Seattle Seahawks versus the Los Angeles Raiders.
Welcome to the Coliseum for a big AFC Western Division game. Seattle and the LA Raiders. And right away, let's go to the AFC Western Division standings. Denver and Kansas City are still going on at Arrowhead Stadium to decide who's going to take first place in the division. The Raiders and Seattle are right there. Take a look at the AFC playoff picture. Let's go out on a big limb right now, Paul McGuire, and say that Buffalo and Houston are going to win their divisions. Somebody's going to win the AFC Western Division. And then, of course, 3 other wild card spots are open. For Seattle at 5-5, this is a must-win today.
It's a must-win for Seattle because they go back home and they have to play Kansas City and Denver at home. Now, if they can win those 2 games and this game here, it would pretty much ensure them a wild card.
Last week's loss in San Diego really put them behind the 8 ball, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. You know, and getting beat by a 54-yard field goal is going to tear your heart out.
Art Shell, on the other hand, came up with a huge win in Denver last week. So they're saying to themselves, we're in a pretty good position. They've knocked Denver off twice already this year.
Yeah, you know, they're looking, on the other hand, the Raiders are looking to win the division, where Seattle, as we already talked about, they're just content if they can get into the wild card picture.
Chris Warren is 42 back on the goal line. Derek LaVille is on the near side of your screen. And Jeff Jager starts us off. Jim Donovan and Paul McGuire from the Coliseum. Comes up short. Ball is caught at the 20, and stepping out of bounds is Travis McNeil, the tight end, and that's where they will begin, just short of the 20 at the 19-yard line. David Craig would love to see his running game get going here this afternoon, and the offensive line has come under a lot of fire. There's the group that has to try and start punching some holes to get those running backs some holes and get the running game going. In the backfield, Craig goes with Jones and John L. Williams for the 2nd week in a row, and their receiving corps, both Blades and Kane, were both banged up against the San Diego Chargers last week, but Blades had an exceptional game with 8 catches, and they're both in the starting lineup today. 1st and 10 at the 19. That's Kane in motion. James Jones is hit behind the line. Ricky Ellison and Tom Benson team up for the hit. Let's take a look at the Raider defense. They played so well in Denver last week. The front 7 aging, but still playing very, very well. And in the secondary for the Raiders, Ronnie Lott and Eddie Anderson both came up with huge games last week in Denver themselves, both with interceptions, and Anderson then doubled that up with a big fumble recovery too. 2nd down and 12, a loss of 2, and there I think typifies the problems with the running game. Right there, nothing available on 1st down.
Now do they go right back and pass?
No, they go to the run. It's John L. Williams, and he'll fight to get back to the 20. You can see Scott Davis is there along with Eddie Anderson. And so now it's 3rd down, and very predictable what you're going to do here on 3rd and long.
Yeah, you're looking at Chuck Knox, and it's got to be eating his heart out with this thing because he knows that, you know, as we've mentioned, Thurman Thomas of the Buffalo Bills outgained the entire Seattle Seahawks offensive running game by 38 yards. And when you look at a team that comes out of the first 2 plays, you don't gain any yardage running.
To the game right now, and a shotgun for Craig. He was in the shotgun, it seemed, the entire game last week against San Diego. It's 3rd and 10. High snap. Looking long for Blades. Great play by McDaniel.
Blades was in a position to catch the ball. Craig just did not get the ball there. And McDaniels, Terry, number 36, watch the play he makes. He's trailing the play here. And you can see that the ball is just a little bit short. McDaniels had to go up in the air, but just super play. Anderson, number 33, was also there.
Rick Tootin into punt. He'll be standing back at his 5-yard line. Timmy Brown is back deep for the Raiders at his own 40. 3 and out for Seattle. Good punt. At the 31, there's a flag down. Brown, 40. And he brings it to the 47-yard line, where he's brought down by the punter, Rick Tootin. But as we said, there are 2 flags down, both near the line of scrimmage. Jerry Markbright is your referee this afternoon.
Got a legal man downfield against Seattle. That's refused.
Yeah, I would decline that. Take the field position. Let's see what they did do.
Illegal man downfield on the kick, number 90, kicking team. Penalty declined, 1st down.
All right, boy, we're right on top of it there, huh? Good decision right there. Here's the offensive line for the Raiders. On that left side, they'll be pressured because of that big linebacker, Rufus Porter, and a great rushing the passer linebacker. Schrader has Smith and Craig in the backfield with him, and all that speed at wide receiver. 1st and 10, Raiders with great field position at the 46-yard line. Play action fake. And the catch to the 40-yard line. Willie Gault, 1st down Raiders.
Willie Gault beat Patrick Hunter, number 27. And, you know, give credit to the offensive line. Because watch Schrader, look at the time he has to find. It's a play action pass. Here goes Gault down the field on Hunter. Runs him off, comes back, and that's giving the quarterback all the time he wants to throw the ball, and you're throwing into one-on-one coverage.
Last week against San Diego, Seattle's defense had trouble with the play action, and right there on 1st down, the Raiders pick it up, and they go down for 14 yards and a 1st down to the Seattle 40. This is Smith, and Steve Smith carries down to the 36-yard line. Let's meet the Seattle defense. They have been playing very well, considered that that offense has not been scoring points, and yet they're in every game because of these guys. Once again, an aging front seven, although with Rufus Porter, they've got a young player and Cortez Kennedy, but they're trying to build around those two players. And in the secondary, Dwayne Harper's been having a superb season. It was Hunter who was beaten on the first play of the game to goal. 2nd down and 7.
You got a lot of aging players on this game, huh?
The way I'm the only young one here in the Coliseum today. Here's the pitch. Marcus Allen. And Allen brings it down to the 35-yard line, a short gain, and it will be 3rd down and long coming up. All right, let's check Arrowhead Stadium final score here this afternoon. The Denver Broncos do it again. 24-20, so they rebound from the heartbreaking loss to these Raiders last week and win at Arrowhead. And now Marty Schottenheimer against John Elway and the Broncos is 1-8 lifetime.
Now they're struggling. I mean, this Western Division has really turned into something because there's a possibility that all 3 wild cards can come out of there.
3rd down and 5. The ball is at the 35 of Seattle. Marcus Allen, the lone back in the backfield. They give it to Timmy Brown. Brown will not get the 1st down. Seattle was right there, and knocking him down was Eugene Robinson along with Jacob Green. Nesby Glasgow was there too.
I'll tell you, the guy that makes the play is Rufus Porter. Jim, he is blocked. Watch Rufus Porter, 97. Watch what he does here. He gets blocked. He's down on the ground. He's back up. He's the guy that slows Brown down. His teammates come in and make the play. What a super play by the linebacker. And I'll tell you another thing. It's getting frustrating. This defense is playing its heart out to stay in the wild card picture, and the offense is not moving the ball.
51-yard field goal attempt coming from Jeff Jaeger. Jaeger's got the spot from Jeff Gossett. And it's good. Jeff Jaeger nails a 51-yard field goal on the Raiders' first possession of the afternoon, and they lead 3-0. The LA Raiders lead on a 51-yard field goal by Jeff Jaeger, who kicks it away, his longest field goal as a member of the Raiders. Again, he goes to that sideline kick like he did on the opening kickoff, and it's Travis McNeil with a flag down. And McNeil finally goes down at the 28-yard line. Jerry Mark Bright will sort it out once again. So that's 2 times he's angled the kick over to the sideline, keeping it away from Chris Warren and Derek LaVille. Here's the call.
Legal block Seattle, but the other good thing about that, Jimmy, is that it pins him into the sidelines, and now you can't use the whole field. You can only use that one section of the field. That helps the defense.
Jim Donovan along with Paul McGuire here from the Coliseum, and as we said, 2 teams struggling offensively, but boy, their defenses are playing well.
Their defenses are playing well, but it really takes its toll on the defense. And all of us, you know, if you get into a situation where you're not scoring at all on offense, you're not running the ball, you're putting the defense back in there, that's when they start pointing fingers at each other.
And the plot has thickened now in the AFC West, because we know from Kansas City that Denver has won this afternoon, 24-20 over the Kansas City Chiefs, and they have taken over sole possession of first place in the AFC West. Bad field position for Seattle inside their 15 at the 14-yard line. Try it again, the run. James Jones. And Jones brings it out over the 15 to the 18-yard line. Bob Golick wraps him up and tackles him on the play. The ITT 10-minute tinkers. We tell you about what happened in Kansas City. Washington has wrapped up a playoff spot with their victory today, Paul, and the Bears struggled with Indianapolis, but they win. And there you see the other games. Minnesota came from way behind, and the Jets blew a big lead, but come back and take the lead in New England. Boomer Esiason has been injured in that game against Philadelphia, and the games that are just beginning with us. 3-0 here in the Coliseum. Raiders lead over Seattle. 2nd down and 5. Craig. Davis gets him for the sack.
Davis is working one-on-one with Andy Heck, number 66, the left tackle. And you credit this sack to the coverage of the defense. To right of your screen, Heck is there, Davis is there. He takes Heck back to the quarterback. Craig doesn't step up quite quick enough, and Davis gets his hand up. Good sack. We also credit the defensive secondary with it.
Boy, in 17 games versus the Raiders in his career, David Craig has now been sacked 51 times.
And you can't run the ball, so you have to throw the ball. It's a little scary.
3rd and 12 in the shotgun. He steps up and finds Lewis Clark for a 1st down at the 31-yard line. Roaring through was Tom Benson to come after Craig, and he just got the ball away.
Oh, I mean, Craig, what a great play by Craig on this. You take a look at Long's coming upfield. They got Wallace, number 51, is coming upfield. And then Craig steps up inside and makes the play. You know, when you hear, and now he hits number 84 is Clark. Look at this. But here's where the defense, when they're playing zone, the receiver comes out and he sits down in the open spot. Craig finds him. That's a good play.
19 yards on the play and a 1st down, and it gives them some pretty good field position now as they move away from their own end zone. Try to run with James Jones outside. Coming up and making the hit was Lionel Washington. He went right down on the shins of James Jones and knocked him down at the 33.
Yeah, and Greg Townsend, the defensive end, forces it to the outside. When the defensive ends get that much penetration, it's not easy for Washington, the defensive secondary, to come up, but it makes it easier for them.
Now, I think on every 1st down play since the start of the game, they have tried to run the ball. They haven't tried to throw on 1st down yet.
Well, they know they're going to throw it enough. Figure they eliminate one of the downs anyway.
Arresting him. 2nd down and long. 8 yards to go for a 1st down.
Nobody back with Craig. He's back there by himself, so everybody's spread out. 5 receivers out.
Blades catches. Loose ball on the ground. Are they going to rule him down? As it's picked up by Benson, he'll run it to the goal line just in case, but I believe they rule Blades down at the 39.
Well, once you're hit, any part of your body hits the ground, you are down. Here it comes. Craig over the middle. Blades is there. Now, I'm going to tell you, that's fumble because the ball is knocked out by Benson. By Ellison. If you take a look at here, right there.
Oh, yes.
The ball is knocked out. That is fumble. They will rule that. The problem is he can't run with it. You've got to blow the whistle.
So Seattle hurries right up to the line of scrimmage at the 39.
That is fumble.
And on the snap of the ball, that is over.
That's right.
Robbie Lott is right there to make the tackle on John L. Williams. And Seattle gets away with one there as it appears that Blades had the ball knocked away.
Ellison, he cannot pick up the ball and run with it because the whistle is blown. We understand that. But here comes Ellison. Look at this. The ball is knocked out right there, but it doesn't make any difference. Once they run a play, no more replays involved. But we still got 4th down and short.
So it's 4th down, and Chuck Knox sends out the punting team. Rick Tootin is in. 3-0 the Raiders lead on a 51-yard field goal by Jeff Jager. Tim Brown is deep, back at his 18. Right off the side of his foot. And then a late flag is thrown in. Let's see where they mark the ball out with 5:43 remaining here in the 1st quarter.
Tootin was the kicker with the Buffalo Bills, and he lost his job to Moore out of the WLAF, and that's one of the reasons why he lost his job in Buffalo.
Well, there's nothing like the sound of a bad punt, is there?
You know it. It just hits flat.
28-yard punt. Now the flag was going down just as they were trying to see where the ball was going to go out of bounds. It's marked at the 32. So there's Tootin. Boy, 28-yard punt.
I'll just give you a line from old Lou Saban, one of my old coaches, way back in 1963 or 4. I punted the ball one time just like that. I came off the field and he said to me, you know, I only pay you to punt. You can't do that. I felt kind of bad.
Still waiting for the call. All right, Jerry Markbright will give it to us right now.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness foul on number 21, receiving team, hitting a kicking team man who went out of bounds during the kick.
Gary Lewis.
Penalty from the dead ball spot. First down, timeout.
Let's see if we can pick that up where it happened.
Gary Lewis is number 21. Well, he comes back inside and hits someone, but, you know.
We'll be right back. 3-0 Raiders. At the 17, they lead 3-0. Their second possession of the day. Roger Craig to the 23. Jeff Bryant on the tackle. All right, let's take as Roger Craig goes back to the huddle right now. This particular gentleman right now, Al Davis, he wants to be known as this. This is his new title.
That's right. I met him in 1955. Al actually lied to me before he ever lied to anybody else.
Now this was where?
In Youngstown, Ohio. Went to the Citadel.
Yeah.
Played for Al for the first year, then ended up with the Los Angeles Chargers right here playing for Al Davis again. Great guy.
Second down, 4. A 6-yard run. Boy, right there to stop that play is Terry Wooden on the run by Roger Craig. And it will be third down for the Raiders as they got nothing on that play.
Terry Wooden, it just looked like he knew where the play was. He beats his man, and he's right there to make the play.
Now third down for the Raiders, and we'll see what they do against the Seattle defense. Steve Smith checks out of the lineup right now for the Raiders, out of the backfield. Marcus Allen is in. Third down and 4. From the 23. Schrader and Ethan Horton catches. And he brings it out for a first down to the 44.
Well, he beats Nesby Glasgow and Eugene Robinson 41 and 22. Nesby Glasgow's 22. 88 is Ethan Horton. He bumps into Nesby Glasgow, moves to the outside. What a good play by the tight end. He makes a contact as he comes out, forces the safety back to the inside, and then breaks off to the outside. The other safety, Eugene Robinson, number 41, can't get there.
You know, when we talked with Ethan Horton yesterday, he said that he doesn't start getting the football until he learned how to block as a tight end. Now, he must have learned how to block because he's starting to get it, although he wants it more, he said.
He says, which is true, you're not a complete tight end unless you can block first. Catching the ball is supposed to be part of it.
As the Raiders come up to the line of scrimmage at the 45, going to get a new play clock because it had run down to 0. Okay, Jerry Markbright tells him what to put up on the clock. Backfield for the Raiders, Smith and Marcus Allen, as Allen's been in there on and off, splitting time with Roger Craig. First down Raiders leading 3-0 with 4 minutes to go here in the first quarter. They're out at their own 45-yard line. Allen gets the ball, he gets hit, and turns it into a gain.
Robert Blackman is the guy that heads up on it, but this play only goes for about 4.5 yards. But this tells you how good Marcus Allen is. Watch this. He goes in, he's stopped right there at the line of scrimmage. Backs out, slides. Now here comes Blackman, 25. Marcus Allen gets his hand. It should be called face mask on Marcus Allen because he grabbed him by the face mask, but he picks up 4.5 yards on the play.
Jeff Bryant was the guy that slipped through and made the hit. but then Allen darted left and turned it into the gain, as Paul said, and it's 2nd and 6.
So Mosbar was telling us yesterday, the center, he said, with Marcus Allen there, you really have to be aware of him cutting back.
Different from the way Roger Craig runs. And on 2nd down, they'll throw to Allen. He catches, and another Raider first down to the Seattle 41.
Marcus Allen that time comes out of the backfield. Terry Wooten, who is the linebacker, number 90, on the right-hand side of your screen. Watch what Allen does to him. He takes Wooten out to the outside. When Allen comes back underneath, number 90 is right there, cannot make the play. He gets some help from Como inside, but they already picked up the first down.
So maybe they'll start to move with Marcus Allen in there. It seems as though he's been really having a good ball game so far.
And another thing, when you look at Jay Schrader, he loves to throw the ball to him.
They got 10 on the play and a first down for the Raiders. Now in Seattle territory at the 41. That's Ethan Horton changing his side on the line of scrimmage. Allen again. Nice play by Robert Blackman to come up on the corner and slice him down at the 40.
Blackman made a super play. He just got his face slammed shut by Marcus Allen a couple plays ago when he comes back in and makes the play. He knows he can't get his hands on him, so he just cuts him right at his feet. Allen picks up about 1.5 yards.
Now there's your ITT 10-minute ticker at the Coliseum as the quarter ended. The Raiderettes carrying around a sign, "We believe in magic," and a nice moment here at the Coliseum.
Actually, Magic was supposed to be here today, show up today, but so far he hasn't made it.
He's finishing up his vacation in Hawaii. I'm Jim Donovan along with Paul McGuire. Start of the second quarter, Raiders leading 3-0 and driving. 2nd down and long from the Seattle 30. Out of the backfield, incomplete. Marcus Allen, the ball thrown a little bit wide left of him at the 26.
Schrader had some choices. He had Ethan Horton also coming across the middle who was open. He had Marcus Allen to the outside who was really open. Didn't hit either one of them.
That's his first miss of the day, Paul. He's now 3 for 4 for 46 yards on the day, and it's 3rd down and 9 yards to go. The Seattle defense right here trying to dig in and force the Raiders just to try and attempt another field goal. 10th play of the drive now for the Raiders. Started back inside their own 20. Marcus Allen, the lone back. Double clutches and then finds Ethan Horton, and that should be a first down and is.
Ethan Horton beat Nesby Glasgow, number 22, but watch how Ethan Horton, watch this when he comes off the line of scrimmage. Watch what he does. Now he's going to set up. He sees his quarterback in trouble, there's Glasgow, so he cuts back to the inside where he can get a better look at him, hits him with the ball, they pick up the first down. That's just hustle by the tight end.
10 yards in the play, they get the first down at the 20. And Horton, who wanted the ball more, has gotten 2 good catches here today.
Ask, you shall receive.
That's right.
Receivers do that.
They ask a lot, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
First down Raiders. That's Horton down in motion. And on the carry, it is Marcus Allen again. Brings it down to the 15-yard line. Jeff Bryant and Tony Woods are there.
Doesn't look like much, does it?
But it was 5 yards.
Yeah, it's 5 yards. It really doesn't. He glides. He still glides well.
He gets the 5 yards. It will be 2nd down and 5. Allen came back last week and is known more for throwing a touchdown pass against Denver than doing anything else. But as you can see, when we talked with Art Shell yesterday, he told us you'll see much more of Allen today, and we are. In fact, we're almost seeing him exclusively.
Right, in their stretch run, they need this man, or they don't make it.
2nd down 5 at the 15. Allen again. Great block by Smith. 1st and goal, Raiders at the 8.
Rufus, you almost disappeared here. Smith comes in, Steve Smith, number 35, and just drills 97 Rufus Porter. And that enabled Marcus to get outside. Here's Rufus. Goodbye, Rufus. I mean, he turned him around. Rufus trying to get through all his body, saying, what happened? What a great block.
So it's 1st and goal now. Marcus Allen will come out. Roger Craig replaces him. A good series for Allen. Smith and Craig become the I formation backfield. 1st and goal at the 8. Craig hit right away. Tony Wood shoots through. and makes the tackle. Allen a breather on the sideline. Craig looking for that quick slice, isn't he, Paul?
Tony Woods really made a super play on that because he had Smith. And you see Craig was following Smith into the hole, and all that Woods did was go right behind Smith and make the tackle.
Second down and goal. They got a yard down to the 6-yard line. Roger Craig tried to high step his way right through that hole and into the end zone. 3-0 Raiders. Seahawks almost jumped. Craig again, and he's chased down from behind by Jacob Green for a short gain of another yard.
Jimmy, the problem with this offensive formation is that you're second down and goal to goal. You've got 2 tight ends, 2 running backs, and only 1 wide receiver. So, and then the run up in the middle. You're not spreading out the defense. You've got 10 people intact inside the tight ends, and you're trying to run in there. Get some people in there, spread them out. Here you are again with 2 tight ends, 2 running backs, and Willie Gall.
Third down and goal. Got to get it in here.
You pass here.
He fakes it to goal. Touchdown.
Willie Gall came all the way across the field, beat Dwayne Harper, number 29. Here comes Gall, watches all the way across the field. But give credit to the offensive line because they gave Schrader that much time to throw the football. And there's no way that Harper is going to run step for step with Willie Gall.
Jaeger for the extra point. Lead 10-0. It was third down and goal, and Willie Gall gets the congratulations from Fred Biletnikoff. Schrader knew he threw a strike. We'll be back. 10-0, the Raiders lead. 15-play drive, 83 yards. It took 8:57. Willie Gall makes the catch for the touchdown. That's a great one. Fred Biletnikoff, the Hall of Famer, congratulating Gall.
He's just saying to Willie Gall there, he said, you're doing it just like I used to do it, but a lot more speed. He had none. But I'll tell you something, he could catch a football.
Biletnikoff was working with Galt on the field before the game. Jaeger's kick is short. Warren is running up, makes the catch at the 16, and just pushes along with that front wedge of his all the way out to the 30-yard line. And that's where Seattle will start. Now, Seahawks, just like last week, Paul, are in trouble. They were down 14-0 against the Chargers, now down 10-0. This was the same before the ball game. There's Galt playing catch with Biletnikoff. And it worked, didn't it, as Galt makes a touchdown catch here today. We'll be right back. 10-0. Their scoring drive, 83 yards. There you see it, their longest drive in terms of time of possession this season. And Seattle in a predicament now, down 10-0 in a game they need. Craig gets it away. Tommy Kane catches out over the 45 to the 46-yard line and a first down. Craig hung in there, didn't he, Paul?
He did, and what the Raiders are trying to do, they've got Lott on the inside, and they also have Anderson to 2 safeties on the inside. So they're giving both corners help with Kane and with Blades.
So now it does become Air Knox.
Well, they have to. They've got to do something to loosen up the defense, and they've got to throw the football for a little while anyway.
16 yards on that pass play. On the running game, there you see it, pathetic, 7 yards. But a first down thanks to the pass. Oh, and they jump off. Blades jumped off, and Kane was jumping off too, so this will go against Seattle.
Kane comes in motion, and what you have to do when you turn up the field, you must stop. And he didn't do that. Blades?
False start, number 89, offense.
You get both of them.
First down.
You can get Blades on the top side. Watch what he does. That's it. That kills it. And then on the other side, which we don't see, is Kane coming down. He went in motion, and they went to set up. The count was longer, I think, than it was supposed to be.
First down at 15 now, back at the 40. dumps it off underneath to James Jones, and he's out to the 44-yard line. I couldn't see Craig in that crowd.
I tell you what, when they came across the field, James Jones, the official had to get out of his way. James Jones had to avoid the official in order to make the catch. Watch this, in the middle of the field. See that guy in the black hat? Watch him. Keep your eye on him. Whoops, excuse me. Pardon me?
That's a pick play, isn't it?
Yeah, they should get the Raiders for 12 men on that one side.
At the 44-yard line now, it is 2nd down and 11. Travis McNeil can't hang on, and you know that same official was almost a screen on that play, too.
Well, you know, Travis McNeil, the defensive secondary just drops back. Look at in the middle. Travis is there. There's no one there. The official drops his head, but Travis just drops the ball. The ball hit him right in the hands. He would not have picked up the first down, but it would have been 3rd and about 4 instead of 3rd and 12.
So McNeil reports to the bench right now. Seahawks in an obvious passing situation. 3rd down and 11. Come in with 4 wide receivers from their own 44-yard line. Oh, look out, David Craig. Anthony Smith ends up covering him. Howie Long from the left side came in, though, and put the initial pressure on with a bunch of others.
I like that. And here comes Howie Long, and look at the pressure is on Townsend is there. But watch Anthony Smith. Watch what he does. There's Craig down. He held up. No punishment there. He did the right thing, the smart thing.
All right, so you see Craig's problems continue now, throwing the ball against the Raiders. Tootin, remember the last time he punted, only hit it 28 yards. And Timmy Brown waits.
It's returnable here.
It sure is. A lot of room for Brown at the 30. And he is out to the 37-yard line. Tackled by James Jones, a 44-yard punt and a 16-yard return. For halftime before he can go down and get himself a nice ice cream.
I like to know what he looks at, though. He's sitting in the front row.
1st and 10 Raiders. Roger Craig battling Rufus Porter. It was a pretty good battle as Porter just stood him up straight, and Craig wasn't going to go down either.
Guess who won? Rufus. Rufus Porter is a tough linebacker. Watch this. Reads the play, reads the hole, steps into the hole, hits Craig. Now they stop here. Now he takes Craig back the other way.
The Raiders talked yesterday about Roger Craig just now starting to really know the blocking schemes of that offensive line and where to hit the holes.
Yeah, you know, he doesn't have the great speed to cut back like Marcus Allen does. He goes to the hole, but he really has to know which hole to go to. 2nd down and 8.
Come on, Craig.
Schrader looking long. He had Glover, and the ball was knocked away by Eugene Robinson. Andrew Glover, boy, for a tight end, he was way down the field.
But you got watch where Jay Schrader puts this ball. It's perfect. And Eugene Robinson makes a super play on this. Here it comes. You're coming downfield. You've got the catch. Bang. Look at this. And he hits him. That is not a fumble. You don't have control. You have to come down. But watch that. Eugene Robinson is right there to make the play on Glover. Perfect. But the pass was perfect also.
Glover caught that touchdown pass from Marcus Allen last week on that halfback option play. What a hit by that man, Eugene Robinson, to save a big gainer. Now Marcus Allen's back in on 3rd and 8. They roll Schrader out. And he hits Ethan Horton. 1st down Raiders.
There was supposed to be a safety blitz on this play. Marcus Allen, number 32, is going to stay in the block. Watch Marcus. Here he comes out. Schrader goes behind him. Here comes Marcus. Is that any good? That is a good block. Wooten is the guy that he knocks down. Here comes Rufus Porter, but the play is off, and the Raiders get a 1st down to Ethan Horton. But that time, Eugene Robinson, number 41, was on a safety blitz, but he was late getting there. The ball, they snapped the ball early, and he was about 5 yards from the line of scrimmage.
Allen comes out. Craig is back in. 1st down Raiders at their own 48-yard line. Schrader looking long again for Sam Brady. He's got it at the 2.
runs away from Patrick Hunter, number 27. And I mean he runs away from him. He's behind Hunter when the ball goes into the air. He outruns the football. There aren't too many guys that can do that. This young man has great speed. He not only outran Patrick Hunter, but he outran the football.
What a play. 51 yards. First and goal, Raiders inside the 2. Smith and Marcus Allen in the backfield. Schrader to a wide open Glover touchdown.
Look at it, Sam Grady. Now watch him on the bottom of the screen. Here's Patrick Hunter, 27. Now watch what he does. Here now, the ball's in the air. Now watch him outrun Hunter and outrun the football. Bang! That's terrific speed. That just shows you how much speed he really had. He blows by Hunter and catches the football. Now here's a touchdown. Look at Glover. There's nobody in the end zone except him.
How does he end up that wide open, Paul?
I think somebody didn't cover him, Jim.
Jaeger kicks it. It's good. Remember, the Raiders were down in this position, down 17-0 in Seattle. Now the shoe's on the other foot. 17-0 Raiders. Let's go look on the sideline there. There's Sam Grady. Schrader has finished his work. He's thrown the touchdown pass already to Glover, but remember the 51-yard pass play that set it up, and a nice high five between Schrader and the speedy Sam Grady. 17-0 Raiders lead. Short kickoff, and again Warren takes it on the run forward to the 32 where he falls down. Aaron Wallace is in on the tackle. We'll be back to the Coliseum right after this. Now the AFC West with that win this afternoon. As you go through the other scores, we tell you here that Seattle, Paul, is in a peck of trouble now, down 17-0. Of course, the Raiders were down 17-0 up in the Kingdome and came back and won that game.
And we'll get to what Art Shell said to him at halftime.
Yeah. First and 10, 32-yard line of Seattle. Play action by Craig. He's got Jones out of the backfield. And Jones is wrapped up by Tom Benson out near the 39-yard line.
Well, Art Shell said he went into at halftime and we were asking him, what did he say? He said, well, they know when I'm mad. I looked at him, said a couple of choice things. They got the message. He said they know when Art Shell is mad. They came out, and it was a test for themselves, and it is also a test here for Seattle. Now, the problem is, here's Seattle. They pick up 7 yards on first down. Don't make any dumb mistakes.
The 5-yard penalties have haunted them here in the first half. Tommy Kane in motion. They'll try the running game with John L. Williams, and he's got room to the outside and a first down. He's pushed out of the play by Eddie Anderson at the 47.
Brian Millard, number 71, the right guard, just made a very good block. Now watch what he does. He comes out and he turns back to the inside, so you can't make the block. He takes Benson out of the play. They get other blocks on the outside, and John L. ends up picking up the first down. Now, no stupid mistakes. Keep the drive alive.
Well, I love when you start talking like a coach.
Yeah.
First and 10.
I like that.
47-yard line. John L. Williams, now he throws it back to Craig, who throws it to Blades, who has it at the 39-yard line. Boy, I was wondering if Williams was down when he got the ball.
Well, Golick hits him. Now, if they take a look and his knee is down when he throws the ball back, here it is. This is the flea flicker. Here's Golick. Nobody blocked him. John L. coming back. No, he's not down. He gets it back to Craig. He is not down. Gets it to Benny Blades. They pick up the first down. Brian Blades, excuse me. They pick up the first down. Here it is, a better look at it. Now look at John L. Is he down? His knee's got to be down. It is not.
Oh, I don't know.
Right there. Well, you can't tell there.
Yeah.
If you're going to use that angle, you can't tell if he's down or not. I don't think he is.
First down, Seattle at the Raider 39. It was a nice play. Craig getting away from Townsend and shovels it off to John L. Williams. And I think that these plays are ad-lib, don't you? I think that one was.
The flea flicker was not ad-lib. That was a called play. Just nobody blocked Golick. But on that play there, it was Craig, he comes out, he was going to run a bootleg out here by himself. Townsend doesn't take the fake. Watch this. He stays with Craig. Craig moves back up to the inside. This is just super play by Craig to get the ball off. Howie Long is there to make the tackle, but they still picked up 5 yards on the play.
Second down. Townsend leads the Raiders in this season with 7 sacks. I think he thought he was on his way to number 8 there. Craig to Kane. Beautiful move by Kane.
And a great tackle by John L. Williams. I'm sorry, but Kane was moving. John L. was only going over to block and help out. Kane makes a great play. Even John L. started to laugh. He said, I'm going to get credit for a tackle on an offensive play. Here it comes. Here comes Kane. He's juking and ducking back to the inside. That's Washington 48. He's run away from him. Here comes John L. Nice tackle, John L. Puts him down. And everybody else congratulates him on the Raiders team. And he even got a nice applause here in the stadium.
16 yards, and Kane is injured. I think he knocked his own guy out.
Kane. John L. hit me in the eye, man. Whoa.
First and 10 at the 18. Jeff Chadwick comes in, replacing Kane, who's on the sideline. Craig, a lot of room to run, but he throws. And Blades can't come down with it on the back line.
Boy, you were right. Craig had a chance to run with a football and probably wouldn't have gotten the touchdown. Probably wouldn't even make the first down, but he would have picked up 6 or 7 yards. Watching Craig and look to the left how it opens up for him. Here he comes. He's waiting for Blades to come across. Now, if he steps here left, there's just nobody there. He throws the ball high and away, but if he runs the ball, he would have picked up probably 6 or 7 yards.
John Elway would have been through that thing in a flash, huh?
Well, this man's been around quite a while, you know, but he did have Blades open. He just threw the ball a little too high. That would have been the short touchdown. He wouldn't have made the touchdown.
Second down. 3:02 to go in the half. Boom. And he pumps one right in there. John L. Williams makes the catch at the 14-yard line. And it will be third down for the Seahawks.
Ronnie Lott made him aware that he's there. You know why they're having a lot of success with the offensive line blocking so well? Because David Craig is coming up and going on the first sound. They're not letting the Raiders shift their defensive line around. They're letting them get into position and going with the first sound.
Shotgun on 3rd and 5 at the 13 of Los Angeles. John L. Williams is open across the middle and should have a first down at the 6. First and goal coming up for Seattle.
John L. They were trying to cover John L. Williams with Winston Moss, number 99, who is the linebacker, and it just didn't work.
Coming up to the 2-minute warning, and we have arrived. It will be first and goal when we come back to the Coliseum, as Seattle tries to get on the board just before halftime. For Seattle at the 6-yard line. A problem with the football now, I believe. Grant Fiesel, the center.
This thing got a ball out there without Tagliabue's name on it. They wanted to change it. See, there it is. There's Paul Tagliabue.
Oh, I see. Yeah, now.
They didn't have one on the other ball. And you really can't. It's the weight of the ball. You're not supposed to play with.
So now we're all set to go, as Paul has explained that very adeptly for you. 17-0. Raiders leading, but Seattle right now able to get back into it with a score here. 9th play of the drive. Craig to a man wide open. Tice. He got them both down for a touchdown.
Boy, they got to look at this too. And Tice just breaks loose. Craig makes this thing work. But Tice is the guy, when he catches the ball, does he have control when he gets both feet in? Here comes Tice. Now watch this. Out to the outside. Kane's going underneath. He just slips through beyond Ronnie Lott. Craig sees him. Boom. Now he's grabbing the ball.
Yes.
He's got it.
He
had both hands on the ball. That's the thing they're going to take a look at. Touchdown. What a super play by David Craig.
And a beautiful drive all the way by Craig, who ad-libbed a couple of plays. 9-play drive, 68 yards. It took 4:57 and gets them on the board and back into the game. Casey's extra point is good. And we have 1:54 remaining here in the first half. Mike Tice catches the touchdown pass from David Craig. And Seattle's back in it, down by 10. Welcome back to the Coliseum. Dave Craig takes the Seahawks down the field for a touchdown as he throws a touchdown pass to Mike Tice. And we're at 17-7 now. The Raiders lead has been cut by 7 points with 1:54 to go in the half. Holland takes it at the 2-yard line. Oh! And keeps going out to the 27-yard line. So that's where the Raiders will begin. Plenty of time, 1:48 remaining in the half. They have all of their timeouts. Let's check the scores in the games going on with us. That's a big game for the Giants and Dallas. And San Diego tied 14-all with New Orleans in the second quarter. And remember, coming up at halftime, it's the Domino's Pizza NFL Live halftime report. Bob, Bill, and OJ have all the scores, plus Bill Parcells on the NFL's declining talent. So that's coming up when we send it back to New York. 1st and 10. Raiders have it at their own 27-yard line. Willie Gault down the line in motion. Marcus Allen on the carry. There is some hitting going on down there. Rufus Porter is just going crazy on tackles as he runs past a block and brings down Marcus Allen. A reminder that at the conclusion of today's game, we'll be presenting the Avis We Try Harder Award, which will be given to the game's MVP.
Now the Raiders are doing it from the line of scrimmage to hurry up. This runs off too much time.
So it's really not a hurry up, is it? Ethan Horton has been sensational here in the first half. Another catch for him. He's out to the 35-yard line. His 4th grab of the day, and now the Raiders do call a timeout. They have 2 remaining, and we'll be right back. Jim Donovan and Paul McGuire back with you. Jay Schroeder has met on the sidelines with Art Shell and Terry Rubisky, the offensive coordinator. There's the story. The Raiders jumped out 17-0, but Seattle went down the field on some great playmaking by David Craig. He threw a touchdown pass to Mike Tice, and it's at 17-7 right now.
Now you really have a problem, the Raiders, because it is 3rd down. You're going to have, what are you going to do? Are you going to run a play and take another timeout, get you down to 1, or are you going to try to throw the ball? And if you don't, you're in a 4th down situation, you have to punt.
Schroeder keeps it and gets the 1st down.
Well, if you're going to call a timeout and move the ball, call a timeout now, because by the time you unpile, remember, it was 1:14. Okay? Now you're in a situation where you're going under a minute. That play so far took 15 seconds.
See, they have 2 more timeouts. And they run the ball again. Marcus Allen beautifully gliding out to the 49-yard line. And that's a Raider 1st down with 46 seconds now remaining. And the Raiders have taken their 2nd timeout here in the half.
And that whole thing took 28 seconds to run that one play. But, you know, you're trying. Eugene Robinson came up to make the tackle on Marcus Allen. He missed. But now you're down to 1 timeout. You have the ball at the 50. And what the Raiders are trying to do is get a field goal.
Now, coming up next Sunday, Paul, we've got a great NBC Sports doubleheader in the NFL beginning at 12:30 Eastern with NFL Live. Then, as the season begins to wind down now, many of you will see these key games. The Raiders battle the Bengals, or Kansas City takes on Cleveland in Cleveland. Then in the second half of our doubleheader, most of you would see the Dolphins take on the Bears. Others will see Denver at Seattle or San Diego at the Jets. There's the lineup next week, and it starts with NFL Live at 12:30 Eastern Time. Just back into the game now at 17-7. He doesn't want to see his Seahawks give up any more points here just before halftime.
No, he doesn't. And, you know, you can't just let Jay Schroeder sit back and throw the football. But on the other hand, you've got all the speed in the National Football League.
No sacks, no pressures by Seattle so far here in the first half. Schroeder rolls to Ethan Horton. He had Mosbar in front of it. Touchdown!
Was a well-designed play, because what they did, they had a tight end screen to the left-hand side of the formation. They have Jay Schroeder rolling out to his right and only one blocker, who happened to be Don Mosbar. But when he went out to block, he didn't really have to make much of a block, because once Horton got through or past the defensive man, he was off and running, because everybody was on the other side of the field. Well-designed play.
51-yard play, too. Jaeger is good with the extra point. 33 seconds remaining here in the first half. Ethan Horton, is he having a day? 5 catches, 99 yards, and 1 touchdown.
All right, take a look here. Now watch, everybody goes to the right with Schrader. Here comes Horton just slipping out. The only guy you're going to find out here is Mosbar, number 72. Hunter, number 27, misses the tackle. Ethan Horton moves. Brown, number 81, comes up and makes a block. He gets in the way of about 3 people. Horton dives into the end zone. Now here it comes again. 2 people you watch. 72 here on Hunter. Didn't hit him. Did enough. And look at Brown. Here comes Brown. He comes in and gets a block on Robinson. Screens out 2 other players, and Ethan Horton dives in the end zone. It's touchdown. What a great play.
His longest catch as a member of the Raiders, and finished off perfectly with a great swan dive into the end zone for a touchdown.
Well, we still may go in at halftime with a 17-point lead.
It's looking that way, isn't it? 24-7 the score. Now the Raiders lead. 33 seconds remaining here in the half. Chuck looks down there. What do we got that's going to work in 33 seconds, John Becker? That's his offensive coordinator on his shoulder there. Schrader is 10 for 12 in the first half for 179 yards and 3 touchdown passes. Jaeger. Derek Lavelle right on the goal line. Nice run back by Lavelle out to the 36-yard line. Tackled by Mike Jones. And Elvis Patterson is there too. So it's first down with 25 seconds remaining. Seattle has all 3. They have all 3 of their timeouts remaining.
And they're going to, when you look at the Raiders now, they're going to play 5 or 6 defensive backs, and they will open up the middle. They will always give you the middle on a play like this, because they want you to throw it there where the guy can't get out of bounds and you have to use a timeout.
But when you have your 3 timeouts, you can run a play over the middle, can't you?
Oh, sure you can. The first one here should be over the middle. This play should be right down the hash mark, and it should be wide open. There's nobody in the middle of the field.
Lewis Clark catches. He'll be short of a first down and didn't get out of bounds either. So Seattle will have to use a timeout. They did have Jeff Chadwick right down wide open over the middle of the field.
If he'd have broken towards the middle of the field, but Chadwick went to the outside. All he has to do is go in the middle of the field. There was no one within 25 yards. And that's what Craig's trying to say now. All we had to do was turn in the middle. And it's open. They're giving you that. Now they got 17 seconds. They still have 2 timeouts.
All right, 17 seconds remaining here. Seattle has 2 left. 2 timeouts remaining. The ball is out at the 44-yard line of the Raiders. Art Shell just saw his team go down the field very quickly. And on a big 51-yard pass play from Jay Schrader to Ethan Horton, they went in for another touchdown to up their lead once again to 17 points. Now Chuck Knox is trying to get his team on the board again, at least with a field goal.
And I still wouldn't mind if with the team here to get in the field goal range to go down the middle of the field. You have 17 seconds, and you can probably get the ball as close to the 35 as you want.
You know, we said both teams have had trouble running the football, but both quarterbacks are having such a great day throwing it. Why run it?
There's the middle open.
He goes to the sideline. Clark is into Raider territory and pushed out of bounds by Torrin Dorn at the 48-yard line. And he stopped the clock with 10 remaining. Now John Casey, the field goal kicker for Seattle, has hit a 54-yard field goal this year.
But, you know, I'm harping on the middle of this field, and I'm telling you now that thing has been open twice now. They could have had the ball, Seattle, by at least by the 35-yard line. Blades that time was open. Chadwick went the wrong way on the play before, should have come into the middle, and it's still open now, but you only have 10 seconds.
So those 2 timeouts they have remaining are a bit wasted. Craig in trouble. Got away from Nolan Harrison. Incomplete, and we have 4 seconds left. Actually, Nolan Harrison, the rookie out of Indiana, almost had him twice.
Yeah, but now, you know, there's no field goal now, and now you just head for the end zone, 3 guys, and let it fly.
So they really botched up here.
I think so, because, again, the middle was open, and that's where you go. And I think Craig, the one time on Chadwick, knew that all he had to do was break towards the middle of the field. And then he had Blades open in the middle, but it's a lot easier for us up here than it is for him down there when he's running around.
Okay, here you see that the bottom of your screen right now, everybody's set up to fly down into that end zone. Last play of the half. Up in the air they go, and it's knocked down. Intended for Lewis Clark, and that's the end of the first half. A very productive first half indeed for the Los Angeles Raiders as they lead by a score of 24-7 in a game they need, and Art Shell loves it. Let's go to NFL Live right now, and Bob Costas in New York. We're at halftime here at the Coliseum.
This is the Domino's Pizza NFL Live Halftime Report. Brought to you by Domino's Pizza. Nobody knows like Domino's how you like pizza at home.
All right, you've been saying all year, and one half does not disprove it. I think it's a valid point that the Raiders go as far as Schrader can take them. And your point basically has been, if he doesn't hurt them, if he doesn't make big mistakes, they can be competitive. Well, today he did a lot more than that. 10 of 12, 179 in terms of yardage, 3 touchdowns in the first half for a 24-7 lead.
Well, of course, if he continues to play like this, they'd be one of the favorites to go to the Super Bowl, which they're not at this point. But once again, the Raiders are going to go as far as Schrader's will allow them to go. And if he doesn't do anything to hurt them, they're going to win.
All right, let's take a look at the rest of the scores, beginning with the Giants game at home against Dallas. If the Giants lose this game, they're almost out of it because the Dallas Cowboys will have 2 head-to-head victories against them. Giants 5-5, Cowboys 6-4. Emmitt Smith has lost a couple of fumbles already for the Cowpokes. Giants lead at 13-3 in the second at home. New Orleans has the lead at San Diego. Steve Walsh just threw a 38-yard touchdown pass to Quinn Early to snap a tie. Earlier, Walsh had thrown one to Buford Jordan. 21-14 over the Chargers in the second quarter. Phoenix and San Francisco, they've just gone to halftime at Candlestick Park, and the Niners lead this one over the Cardinals 7-0. The Rams just fell behind at Detroit, actually at the Silverdome in Pontiac. The Lions got an Eric Kramer touchdown pass of 6 yards to Robert Clark to go in front in this one 7-3. They're in the second. Now to finals from earlier today. Denver over Kansas City 24-20. A look at some of the highlights. Battle for first place in the AFC West, which is now owned by Denver, and Marty Schottenheimer is 1-8 as a head coach against the Denver Broncos, including those defeats when he was with the Cleveland Browns. Here is Gaston Green giving Denver a 10-7 lead in the second quarter with this 60-yard run, and Nick Lowry field goal tied it at 10 by halftime. It was 13-10 in favor of Kansas City when Elway turned in the big play of the day. You be the judge. Was he past the line of scrimmage? It appeared he might have been when he hit Mark Jackson for the go-ahead TD, but the touchdown stood. Then on the next drive, off the hands of Pete Holohan on the pass from DeBerg, into the arms of the former Falcon Charles Dimry. He goes to the end zone for the touchdown. DeBerg, after being intercepted 4 times, although in fairness to him, 2 of those were deflections off his own receiver's hands, was replaced by Mark Vlasic. Vlasic threw a touchdown pass to Tim Barnett, got the Chiefs to within 4, 24-20, and had them driving into Kansas City territory as time ran out. But now, the Broncos have won both games head-to-head against the Chiefs. So it's more than just a 1-game lead over Kansas City in the AFC West, and the Broncos have a much easier remaining schedule as a team that finished 5th last year, as opposed to Kansas City, which plays 4 of their last 5 games on the road. Bill?
Well, the big threat to the Broncos here is the Raiders now, because the Raiders have beaten the Broncos twice, and what the Broncos have to do is make sure and stay 1 game ahead of the Raiders. Raiders tie them up, of course it goes to the Raiders, but I have to take my hat off to Denver. I didn't think they could go in there to Kansas City ready to go today, no doubt about it, and win that game, but now they're the team to beat in the AFC West right now.
And I think the main thing now is home field advantage. I think both Buffalo and Houston are thinking that they don't want to go into Denver to play the playoffs. You never know what the weather's going to be, and I think they get as much advantage out of playing at home as Houston does in the Astrodome.
Now, before we give you one more look at the controversial play, let's set this thing up. Until 2 years ago, when Don Mikowski was thought by some to be across the line of scrimmage in that game at Lambeau Field where he threw the late touchdown pass for the Packers to beat the Bears, very, very controversial play. Until that time, the rule was the position of the ball and the ball only as being relevant as to whether or not it was a legal pass, whether the quarterback or whomever was throwing the pass was across the line of scrimmage. They amended the rule after the Mikowski play, thinking it would make it easier for the officials. Now they say any part of the body, whether it's the arm on the release, whether it's a foot, any part of the body across the line of scrimmage is good enough to disallow the pass. Now you judge for yourself. It certainly appeared as if he was across the line of scrimmage at the point of release. Also keep in mind the way the replay rule is worded. It is not enough for the replay official to believe, 60-40 that he should overrule the play. It's got to be conclusive to overrule the play as called on the field, and maybe because number 97 partly screened it, maybe because the replay camera wasn't exactly parallel to the line of scrimmage and he was thinking about the angle. The replay guy did not think it was conclusive enough. It stood, and that was the difference in the game.
I know, Bob, and this is, it's unfortunate, but this game is not without human error. Every once in a while, you get into something where it looks like it could go one way or another, opposite what the replay shows, and it happens. But, coaches can live with that kind of stuff. That's really not something you're going to hear a lot of complaints about. It's unfortunate, but everyone accepts the fact that every once in a while one of those things happens.
Quickly through the rest of the scores. Off the 6 touchdown passes a week ago, Mark Rippon threw 2 more today. Art Monk had 8 catches for 132 yards. Skins are 11-0. They win at Pittsburgh 41-14. Chicago, with Brad Muster filling in for the injured Neil Anderson and rushing for 110 yards, wins at Indy 31-17. Colts played them tough most of the way. Bears are 9-2. Minnesota got 3 touchdown passes and a touchdown run from Rich Gannon, a 35-21 win at Green Bay. The Jets blew a 21-0 lead in the 4th quarter, but then on a Ken O'Brien touchdown pass to Trevor Mattich with 57 seconds to go and a last play hold at their own 1-yard line when John Vaughn got the handoff as time expired, and they stopped him at the 1 as the Patriots tried to force overtime. The Jets somehow get out of there with a win, 28-21. They go to 6-5. Philadelphia is also 6-5. They won at home against Cincinnati 17-10, and Tampa Bay was walloped at Atlanta 43-7. Chris Miller threw 3 touchdown passes, all of them to Andre Rison. Now, it is the opinion of Bill Parcells that the general level of talent, especially at the superstar level, is down in the National Football League, and we'll talk to him about that point of view as we continue here at halftime right after this.
This is the Domino's Pizza NFL Live Halftime Report, brought to you by Domino's Pizza. Nobody knows like Domino's how you like pizza at home.
Okay, in this segment of the halftime program, we thought we'd get some of the opinions of Bill Parcells about a subject he's been thinking about for a few weeks. You think that the general level of talent in the league is down? Oh,
without question. I think anybody that's looking at football, the obvious position this year that's evident to everyone is the quarterbacks. Now, part of it's injuries, but these backup guys are not really stepping up and coming to the front. But I feel like, well, who's the next Reggie White? Maybe Cortez Kennedy, but are there 5 guys that are up-and-coming young defensive linemen now that you can say, hey, one of these guys or 2 of these guys are going to wind up getting 100 sacks like White or Dent? Or who's the next Lawrence Taylor? Well, it looks like Derek Thomas might be, but, are there 5 guys that could eventually be that way now?
For a while, everyone was saying, well, Andre Tippett is the next Lawrence Taylor, and then it was Cornelius Bennett. You can't confuse Pat Swilling because he's almost a contemporary of Lawrence Taylor. He's only a couple of years behind him, so Thomas would have to be the guy, but there isn't a half dozen.
No, there aren't. And I think in other positions, defensively particularly, I remember going into the draft, going into our personnel director, Tom Boyster, with the Giants, where are the defensive linemen? He said, well, there's one here, but we're not going to get to pick them because he's going to be gone before we pick. There weren't that many to choose from, so it is a little bit alarming.
That's why you said to me before, if a Cortez Kennedy is on the board, except in the rarest of circumstances, you better grab him.
I'm very prejudiced, Bob. I believe you set your team by building defense. So I would always have preferred to take the big defensive player that can be a dominant defensive player even over the offensive skill player, other than the quarterback position.
Is there something happening philosophically in college ball that's depleting the number of top-ranked defensive players coming out?
I think a lot of the big guys are being put on the offensive line, but I think we're losing a lot of players to basketball. I think a lot of guys that would have wound up being those defensive ends, those 6'4" and 6'5" guys, maybe not top-flight basketball players in high school, but they can go play somewhere, power forwards for someone. Those are the guys that wound up developing into the linebackers, the defensive ends, the tight ends, and I think we're losing a lot to basketball.
Now, how about at the quarterback position?
Well, at the quarterback position, I don't think there are that many schools on the collegiate level producing top quarterbacks. Of course, Miami has 4 or 5. Maryland, you have to look at their track record. Gelbaugh, Reich, Esiason. There is another school that has produced some. UCLA has 2 or 3 guys playing, maybe University of Washington, Brigham Young maybe, but that's only 4 or 5 schools. You used to get them out of the Big Ten. And the Big 8, I can't remember the last time a Big 8 quarterback made it in professional football.
Yeah, I'm thinking. Steve Grogan was from the Big 8, but that goes back a decade and a half, and Bobby Douglas never really made it.
Lynn Dickey, but you got to go back a way.
All right, we got to get out of here for just a minute. We continue with our halftime activities right after this.
Two yards at halftime on 10 carries. So what Fisher's thought of putting in fast
all year long, they have not corrected it. Now, Greg is throwing the ball, but he's scrambling. He's ad-libbing an awful lot. You're not going to win doing things like that. The defense is still kind of holding him in the game. There's been a couple of breakdowns, but when the offense puts you on the field that many times, 4 times the Raiders have had the ball, 4 times they've scored.
That's right. A field goal and 3 touchdown passes. Here's a look at the big play, 51 yards that went from Jay Schrader to Sam Grady. And we'll come back and take a look at that as we come now, and Jamie Holland takes it. Holland is out to the 20, to the 26, and goes down, and that's where the Raiders begin. Let's go back to that big play. A beautiful pass by Jay Schrader, laying it out to the speedster Sam Grady.
Yeah, this is the one. It's not a touchdown, but Grady outruns the football and goes for it, and also Hunter. But that's just concentration on the ball, determination to get there, and he did.
Well, I noticed Rufus Porter, as he comes out on the field for the Seattle Seahawks, really slapping everybody in that defensive huddle to get going. They've got to come up with a series to stop the Raiders.
And the one thing we were talking to Cortez Kennedy yesterday, and they're talking about what they have to do. They have to get to Schrader. They have to force him to do some things. The only time they've forced him out of the pocket, they have not done it. It was a design call. It's either a bootleg or a sprint out, and that's the only time he's been out of the pocket.
They run the ball on first down, or attempt to Roger Craig, and a flag goes down. This will go against the Raiders.
But again, if in order to beat the Raiders, they've pretty much shut down the running game. You come out on the first play of the Raiders with delay a game, that helps a little bit. But you've got to put some heat on Jay Schrader. Now, the question is this. Talking to Coach Catlin.
Okay, I understand we've been having some on and off video problems, and we are working to attempt them to correct that right now. And I understand that we have no picture right now, so we'll tell you that the Raiders are going right to left here. They're at their own 22-yard line. It's first down and 15 after they get hit for a delay of game penalty. First and 15, the Raiders leading in the game 24-7. Schrader is back to pass, hits Roger Craig out to the 25, to the 27-yard line. He's tackled on the play. Bringing him down is Darren Como and Terry Wooden. So it's a gain out to the 27-yard line. They'll get back close to the 5 yards they lost on the penalty, and it will be second down and long.
Are we doing our radio now?
Yes.
Okay,
yeah.
Now it's radio. So you forget about numbers and you just tell them what happened. That time Schrader went back to pass. No one really put any heat on him again, and they're trying to do it. The Seattle Seahawks with 4 people in the front 4 up front rushing, you're going to have to start sending a linebacker. But the problem with that is what Catlin said, you got so much speed on the outside, that limits you to one-on-one coverage, and when you do that, it's subject to the touchdown.
Second down and 11. Jacob Green came across the line of scrimmage. The pass by Schrader. He connects with Mervin Fernandez. He catches out to the 45-yard line of Los Angeles. There is a flag down on the play. It looked like Jacob Green came across quickly. We'll check and see if he was brought across, as Jerry Markbride will be the next person that you hear right here. Markbride ready to give us the call when we're back now with you. All right, so it was Green.
It was Green, but the question is, did Jacob Green, when he go outside, did he touch anybody? If he did before the ball was snapped, then the play should have stopped. Obviously, he did not do that, but the problem is when Jacob went across, he stops. Here comes Jacob now. Does he touch anyone before the ball? No. But see what happens? He comes across. Now he's got to pull himself back, and when he does that, he takes him out of the pass rush.
19-yard pass play to Mervin Fernandez. First down for the Raiders at their 46. They lead 24-7 as we're underway here in the second half, and a good play defensively. Steve Smith got the carry. Rufus Porter, Jacob Green there for the tackle, but Porter led the charge.
Rufus Porter, we've seen in the first half, we saw him do 3 different plays where he reads it very well. He's there. It's almost like he hears the play in the huddle. When you make a tackle right at the line of scrimmage or for a short loss, I mean, you are really reading offensive line and backs very well.
All right, so we've lost our picture once again. We'll tell you that the Raiders have it now. 2nd down and 10, no gain on the last play. Napoleon McCallum and Steve Smith are in the backfield for the Raiders. It is 2nd down and 10. At their own 45-yard line, Schrader back to pass. Good heat by the Seahawks. He unloads the ball, and it is incomplete. Intended for Willie Gault at the 48-yard line. For the first time today, Schrader ends up on the seat of his pants, but it comes after a pretty good pass rush, as it looked like what Tom Catlin told us last night. Sooner or later, Paul, we might send everybody. I think they sent everybody on that play.
They sent 7. And they have a defense that they call, there's Tom Catlin, that said they could send as many as 8, but boy, you know, it's a gutsy call. When we were talking to Tom Catlin, he said, you know, you don't want to call it. It's something that you have, it's feel. It's not anything that they're doing, it's you feel that they are in a situation where you could send them and you have the right people covering.
All right, as we continue to work on our picture, we are 3rd down and 10. The Raiders have the ball at their own 46-yard line. Tim Brown comes down the line of scrimmage in motion. Schrader back to pass, sets up, plenty of time, throws it. It is caught by Ethan Horton. Horton is near a 1st down, and they'll give him a bad spot, it looks like, back to the 45-yard line of Seattle, which will put him short of the 1st down. He did an extra lunge when he saw where the sticks were, but Horton is really upset about where that ball is being marked.
He's upset, but he has no right to be, Jimmy, because when he caught the ball, he was touched and his knees were down, and they marked it, the ball where his knees were down. Then he crawled. They're not going to give him that. It's 4th down on the 45-yard line. We'll do the radio from right to left. The Raiders are moving.
And it's the first punt of the day for Jeff Gossett, who had a great game last week in Denver. He knocked 3 balls out inside the Bronco 20-yard line, put him at the one time, and he's got an opportunity to do that right now. Hits it from his own 45. Back deep is Chris Warren. He watches it go to the corner of the end zone to the left, and it bounces into the end zone for a touchback, and Seattle will get the ball at their own 20 when we come back. Hopefully, we'll join you with some pictures, too. Welcome back to the Coliseum, everybody. Jim Donovan and Paul McGuire. Happy to have the pictures back, and we apologize for our problems with our video, but we're back with you. 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. Ronnie Lee is checked in at right tackle now for the Seattle Seahawks. Their first possession of the second half, down 24-7. Craig out to John L. Williams. Winston Moss tackles him at the 24-yard line. A 4-yard pickup, making it 2nd down and 6. The Hertz 10-minute ticker this afternoon. As you pick out the big games right there, Washington wrapped up a playoff spot today, and Denver has taken over first place in the AFC West with a huge win in Kansas City. And incidentally, that was the first time, Paul, today that Seattle defensively has stopped the Raiders. They had a field goal, 3 touchdowns on their 4 possessions in the first half. So let's see if they can build on that offensively now at the 24-yard line.
And then Seattle comes out of 1st down and throws the football, so they're almost like abandoning it.
Mike Tice, who caught a touchdown pass, is in motion. Craig got hit by Howie Long, and then he goes down. Loose ball, they say the Raiders have it.
Howie Long took a direct route right to David Craig, and I mean, he drilled him. David didn't have a chance to get out of the way. Long was there. Number 75, watch it. Millard is blocking on him. He gets around him. Look at this, right at Craig and hits him. But his own man is the man that knocks the ball away.
There was a penalty called against Seattle, too, and that is declined, and so the Raiders take the ball. 3rd sack of Craig today, and definitely the most damaging, as look at where the Raiders will end up with the football. 3 sacks today, 53 now in 17 games that David Craig has played in his career against the Raiders.
You know, in most teams, when you get a turnover in someone else's territory, what you do on a 1st down situation is try to go at him right now. Fernandez, they really have not thrown the ball out to him much at all.
They're inside the 15 at the 14-yard line. Greg Townsend recovered that fumble for the Raiders. Roger Craig to the 8-yard line. David Craig on the sideline. It looked like Feasel, his own man. When you said his own man bumped into him, Feasel was the guy that was standing there. And I don't know if that's who actually knocked the ball away. Scott Davis was there, too.
Well, Craig just took a shot from Howie Long, and when you're being bounced around and all of a sudden everybody's coming in on you, I mean, you go a little limp when you get hit by a guy that size and you're the size of David. Then his own man hit him, and the ball comes out.
2nd down and 5 to go for first down. They're at the 8-yard line of Seattle after the Seahawks fumble. Cortez Kennedy almost jumped Steve Smith to the 4 and near a first down. Robert Blackman and Jacob Green brought him down. Jerry Markbright wants the chains to come out to measure this one.
No, who would have thunk it? You know, when you talk about the Raiders in Seattle, basically two teams that run the football almost all the time. And the first half we saw nothing but air, both of them. And here we are in the second half. Seattle comes out trying to throw the ball twice. It's a first down. The Raiders got the turnover, and they're running the football now. But this is what the Raiders do best. They just love to grind it out. Two things are happening. One, they're in a position to score. Two, they're running time off the clock.
Almost expressionless now. Chuck Knox will watch his defense on a 1st and goal situation from inside their own 4-yard line. Here are the Raiders. Craig and Smith are in the backfield.
Come on, up.
Look out! And there's a fumble, and Seattle has it. Robert Blackman stripped the ball away from Schrader. And then it's recovered by the Seahawks. Tony Woods recovers the fumble.
All right. If we can hold this thing, here comes Schrader. He runs a play-action pass. And then what he does is he turns. His back is to the outside to Blackman. When he turns, his back is there. He never sees Blackman coming. Watch it. See his back to Blackman?
Yes.
And when he turns around, Blackman is already there. Does not have a chance to pull the ball back in. Woods recovers it. Seattle's ball. And that's the first time we've seen pressure on the quarterback today.
And a big swing now for Seattle. They get the ball back. Craig to John L. Williams. That's been available all day long, and he brings it out to the 20-yard line.
It's available because everybody is dropping off. The Raiders have a 17-point lead. They're not concerned about anything short. We'll give you that all day long.
And they know they're not going to run it.
That's right. So what Seattle's going to do is go ahead, because you've got 9 minutes to go in the third quarter. You got the fourth quarter to go. Go ahead and take this. What you need to do right now, Seattle, is get one score. At least prove that you can move the distance, the length of the field.
Travis McNeil, who dropped one earlier, hangs on this time and gets about 7 extra yards from the point he caught the ball out to the 33-yard line. 13-yard play and a first down for Seattle.
He ran right through Ricky Ellison, number 50. And these are like running plays. When you throw out to John L to the outside, he picks up 4 or 5 yards. Then you throw over the middle to the tight end, McNeil. These are. San Francisco for years did it better than anyone else that I know of. Little short passes where you have a chance to pick up 8 yards, sometimes a first down. Don't be afraid to do it.
Each quarterback has fumbled once here in the second half. Craig fumbled and Schrader fumbled. Whistles blow, and there comes the problem again of the 5-yard penalty. Was it Ronnie Lee? Paul, you're pointing to 63 on my chart here.
Ronnie Lee is the guy that moves out. I mean, here's a team. You run 2 plays, you get a first down. And then, these are dumb mistakes, Jim. They are dumb mistakes. You got to pay attention. You're struggling. Here's Lee, 63. Look at this. I mean, he's way away from the ball. He has really no one over him. Moss is the guy that's there. Number 99 is a linebacker who is even leaning back that he's not going to be coming. And you're trying to get some depth.
And it's now first down and 15, and they're back inside their 30 at the 28-yard line. Brian Blades was being held on the play by Ricky Ellison, but they do not throw a flag on it as Craig was looking elsewhere and then saw Blades come across the middle.
Blades actually was, I don't know if Ellison was holding him to stop, but he stopped as he was coming across the middle, and Craig just threw the ball to the outside. but you know how costly penalties are. You're in a 1st and 10 situation. Now you're in 2nd and 15.
4 wide receivers into the game for Seattle. John L. Williams is in the shotgun with Craig. Craig is 16 for 22 in the afternoon. They're going to run it to John L. Williams, and it's open up the middle. Townsend comes from behind to bring John L. Williams down at the 36.
Well, that is a good call because the middle was opened up. And Craig sees it. You got one back in the backfield. He goes back. Watch the middle open up. You don't see any safeties or anyone there. Here's the blocking right at the line of scrimmage. When they get the good blocks, John L. picks up about 9 yards on the play. Now you have a legitimate chance to pick up 3rd and 7.
4 wide receivers in. That's Chadwick, the lone man, on the bottom of your screen, then 3 up at the top. He's got Blaze. Can he get to the first down? No. McDaniel comes over and makes the tackle on him as Blaze was looking to get to the stick to get the first down, and Terry McDaniel closed quickly.
Boy, there was some excellent blocking at the line of scrimmage. And here's Blaze, here's McDaniels. I mean, that's just keeping the man from making the first down. And he's actually 2.5 yards short.
McDaniel told us yesterday that when Blaze comes out on the field, and normally when he's going up against a particular player, he'll say, hey, have a good game. But not today.
Yeah, try next week.
They played against each other in the Sugar Bowl when they were each in college. Blaze at Miami, McDaniel at Tennessee. And they just bumped heads again here this afternoon. Here's Tootin. Timmy Brown, 25. Brought down hard at the 27. That run ended very quickly. David Daniels is down on the coverage. A 34-yard punt and a painful 2-yard return.
Dave Daniels, who makes the play, 36. Look how tough it is on punt coverage. Not only does he have to get away from 2 people, bounce into his own man, but watch what he does. He also makes the tackle. Thank you. That's nice.
6:19 left, 3rd quarter, 24-7. Raiders lead. Roger Craig. And he will not make the 30-yard line. Brought back at the 29. Cortez Kennedy and Terry Wooden are there to rip him down along with Rufus Porter.
Yeah, Rufus Porter is the guy that makes the play. He just comes across the line of scrimmage, but he makes Roger Craig commit himself. Porter, 97, is very active.
You know, we mentioned that Seattle wanted to come in here today and put a lot of pressure on Jay Schrader. And I think it's evident that they have not been able to do that here this afternoon. Schrader in the pocket has been really as safe as in his mother's arms. 12 for 14 out of the pocket, 1 for 2. He's in the pocket now. Throws out of the backfield. There's a flag down at the 31-yard line after the catch is made by Roger Craig.
I think there'll be some holding on the offensive line.
Tony Woods made the stop on the play.
But the problem is you're still not getting to Craig. You got Bryant 77, Jacob Green 79, and they're not there now. I would imagine there is holding.
Illegal use of the body and a tripping foul. Tripping against number 66, Los Angeles. 10-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Steve Wright is hit for tripping, and that will cost him 10 yards and 2 minutes in the penalty box for him.
Yeah. Well, any way you can get him down, I guess, as long as you don't get caught.
The Hertz 10-minute ticker. Giants on top of Dallas, 16-6. Giants looking to get up over 500. New Orleans winning again. And the very tight game in San Francisco. And here at the Coliseum, the Raiders lead 24-7. That was their lead at halftime. And they have the ball now. 1st down and 17 yards to go. Should be 2nd and 17 on the yardsticks. Tim Brown catches and is out to the 29. You know, it's a little bit visible today, Paul, that we have not seen a lot of Mervin Fernandez at all.
Because of the coverage on the outside, and when you start doubling up on the outside, or playing him very well on the outside, Harper's done a pretty good job on him, standing on the outside, number 29. Then you start looking at your tight end, because usually what happens at the tight end, there's either the safety alone or maybe a linebacker on the tight end, so you start going. Now, Fernandez is going back to the outside. Davis, number 34, is on him. Harper is not in the game. He's got a lot of room out there.
Seattle trying to get to Schrader. They flush him out of the pocket, but he's going to run for a first down.
Wrong again. Only the second time that they get to Schrader. One time they sack him, and they get the fumble. This time, he comes out of the pocket. There's no one in the middle of the field when he starts running. Once he gets by the defensive line, watch this. Marcus Allen gets a little block, but once he gets by, then there's nobody there. Now, Marcus, get upfield, throw a block. 15 yards.
Yeah, but did you see Rufus Porter being held at the top of your screen on that replay? His jersey was being refitted.
No harm, no foul. Keep telling you that, as long as they don't catch him.
1st and 10 for the Raiders at the 44. 3:57 to go here in the third quarter. Roger Craig. And Seattle floods to the ball again. Robert Blackman is there along with Cortez Kennedy and Jeff Bryant.
Cortez Kennedy, we really have not called his name that many times today. One of the reasons, there are 2 people on him most of the time. And another thing, they're holding him. So it's very difficult.
But no harm, no foul.
Yeah, that's right, as long as you don't get caught.
Second down coming up.
There really is. There is probably a holding penalty on every single play. But unless it's blatant, they're not going to call it.
It figures out to 2nd and 7. This is Craig again. Good open field tackle there by Patrick Hunter. And he is short of the first down by about a yard.
All right. Cortez Kennedy, we haven't been mentioned. Let's take a look at what happens. Here goes Wisniewski's there. They have a double team. They turn him to the inside. Is he being held? Why not? They got Mospar. But the play is run away, and then that time Craig just sets up the block on the outside for Montoya, and he is down and picks up about 4 yards. Now it's 3rd down and about 1.5.
Raiders out now as Cortez Kennedy has been looking at Wisniewski and Mosbar and everybody on that inside of that offensive line all day long. Marcus Allen back in, first down Raiders.
Hey, tell us about Marcus Allen, what a great cutback runner he is, but when the hole is there and the hole is open, then you have Marcus running. Take a look at here. Smith out in front of him. He just follows Smith through the hole. Smith gets an excellent block downfield. Marcus is still following him. They pick up the first down and more.
Allen will come out of the Raider lineup now with 9 rushes, 54 yards in the day. And Roger Craig will check back into the lineup. So they've got a nice little flip-flop going there between Craig and Allen. Steve Smith remains at fullback, and more importantly, a first down for the Raiders, and Schrader will throw. Tries to get rid of it, does, and another diving catch out to the 25. Ethan Horton continues to have another big day, his 6th catch of the day.
You know, this is the one thing that Schrader is doing is play action pass, first of all, and then the guy he's looking to is his tight end. The reason why he's doing that is because you've got a safety, Eugene Robinson, number 41, try to cover him man-to-man, and that's hard to do.
Spread the ball around, huh?
Oh. Between the running backs and the receivers, they have 9. The tight ends have 9.
I shortchanged Horton 1 catch. He's at 7 now.
Don't shortchange it.
For 123 yards, under a minute to go here in the third quarter. Roger Craig. Seattle chases him down in big numbers. Cortez Kennedy ran down the line of scrimmage along with Terry Wooden and Jacob Green.
And one of the things that is really noticeable in a football game, there's 35 seconds and counting going. That is probably going to be the last play of the third quarter. But when you see the defense retreating, the defensive lineman, the offensive lineman push him, you know that they're tired. And the game, you're looking at the feet.
You know they look tired in that huddle. You're right. Well, the Raiders don't have to run another one because that play clock and the game clock will put us right at 0 left here in the third quarter. And they have done successfully what they wanted to do. They have preserved their lead of 17 points, which they had at halftime. 24-7. We'll be back after these messages from your local station. Back at the Los Angeles Coliseum, I'm Jim Donovan with Paul McGuire. The Seattle Seahawks and Los Angeles Raiders. The Raiders lead as we start the fourth quarter 24-7. Right now they're on a current drive that has gone 51 yards. It has taken up 6:19 and they lead by 17 points. And it's second down and 8. The ball is just inside the Seahawks 25-yard line. Ethan Horton is in motion.
And the battle's being lost in the line.
Roger Craig to the outside. Got away from Tony Woods. Got away from Rufus Porter, but they both stretched the play long enough to the outside that Blackman came up and belted him out of bounds.
Well, Woods and Rufus Porter both thought they were held on the play. And, you know, you've got to get away from people because they have not been calling much of the holding throughout this ball game. Really, there have been very few flags in this ball game, so you better go ahead and start ripping away from when they're grabbing you. And Porter, they are holding him.
Which has been my point all afternoon long, and you've just snickered at me.
Well, I'm not snickering at you. I'm just saying if it isn't called, there's not a whole lot you can do about it.
A time-killing drive, and now it's third down for the Raiders. Schroeder going to the end zone. Fernandez tried to come back, and he was stopped, and it's going to be a penalty on Brian Davis.
Wait a minute now. I'm going to tell you what. I don't understand this. First of all, you have Brown and Fernandez in the same place. Now, you're looking at a penalty on Davis. Watch this. Is this a penalty? Look at what Fernandez did. He pushes off. This has got to be offense. This can't be defense. Because Davis is in a position. He has as much right at that football as... 34, I don't agree with this call. Because if you look at Fernandez, he's the guy that pulls his arms into his chest and then pushes out. 86 on 34. On Davis. Watch this. Here it is. Now look at Fernandez. He pushes out. That man is allowed 34 to have the right to the football. And you're right, Mr. Davis. You did not.
Well, a lot of good it does him now.
That's right.
It's down at the 1-yard line. Davis will watch now. It's a 24-yard penalty it ends up. First down, Napoleon McCallum scores.
Napoleon McCallum, everybody works to get all the way down the field. Number 41 comes off the bench fresh and cuts back to the inside and scores a touchdown. I love it.
And you saw Davis on the Seattle sideline explaining to his coach what went on there.
And Davis is right. Brian Davis there was not pass interference, and he can't believe it, and it was a bad call because if you're going to call any interference at all, it was on Fernandez.
Jaeger, extra point, out of the hold of Gossett. Flag went down. I think Seattle jumped offside.
On the kickoff.
Incidentally, Paul, that's the third rushing touchdown this season for the Raiders. Only 3 rushing touchdowns.
Outside, number 29 defense. The extra point is good. 5 yards on the kickoff.
So on the kickoff, the penalty on Dwayne Harper. Now remember, Nick Bell has the other 2 rushing touchdowns. Now McCallum checks in. The LA Raiders just went 10 plays, 73 yards, and it took just under 7 minutes, and Napoleon McCallum finished it off with a 1-yard touchdown run. They lead 31-7 as they look to go to 7-4 on the year, and Seattle will drop below 500 to 5-6 unless they stage a miracle comeback here. Here's Chris Warren to the 20. Gets away from Wallace and is out of bounds at the 32-yard line. Finally putting him out there was Jamie Holland. David Craig saying 4. They need a bundle. We'll be right back. Yes, the Seattle running game has certainly been grounded. That's 200 yards rushing in 4 games. That's what it totals out to.
They're not going to be running the ball very much with 14-11 remaining in the game.
Jeff Chadwick has checked in. 4 wide receivers in the game for Seattle. Craig in all sorts of trouble. Scott Davis has him.
Jimmy, it's not important who makes the tackle on this play. The most important thing is watch what happens when the defense... The entire defense offensive line. Watch this. All 4 guys are there. They took the entire offensive line back to the quarterback. It's just a guess who's going to grab him at the end. I mean, you got 4 guys that have a shot at him, but all 4 guys took 5 offensive linemen back to the quarterback.
That's the 3rd sack of the day for Scott Davis. And it is 2nd down and 19. This time Anthony Smith gets it. Boy, they are teeing up. I worry for Craig back there now.
Well, the bad part about it is Andy Heck is on that side over there, and that's Anthony Smith, 94. If we could freeze this, I would love to. Watch this. Here's Heck, 101, and then Anthony gets around him. Bam! And this is the backside of Craig. He cannot see Anthony Smith coming from the backside. So Heck has got to stay with him. Can't let him get a direct shot at the quarterback, or he won't be around long.
Now it's 3rd and 30. Flags are down. Craig steps up and is incomplete at the 30-yard line. It was underneath Blades, and Craig with a shoulder pad off, and I believe they hit Craig back in the end zone to rough the passer, but there was a flag even before that.
They're going to get Townsend, I think 93, Greg Townsend, for hitting Craig late.
Might have hit him right in the head.
For the first one, that will be an automatic first down. Well, we saw the defense get pushed around by the Raiders' offensive line in that last drive, Jim, and now we're seeing the Seattle Seahawks offensive line get handled by 4 defensive linemen.
We have 2 fouls on the play. We have an illegal formation foul. We had an eligible man covered by another eligible on the offense. The illegal formation offense. We have a personal foul, unnecessary roughness, a blow to the head against the passer, number 93 defense. We will penalize the 15-yard penalty and disregard the 5-yard penalty. 15 yards, automatic first down.
Okay, did you get that?
No offsetting penalty. 2 5s would be offsetting. There it is. There's Townsend hitting Craig in the head.
Well, he belted him with a right arm right there and knocked out Craig in the end zone. So they get that penalty, and they'll get a first down. And now let's check the Miller Genuine Draft 10-minute ticker, Paul. As you check the scores this afternoon, first the final scores and then the games that are going on along with us. We have 13:04 left here in the 4th quarter. First down for Seattle as Craig is hit in the head by Greg Townsend right at the 1-yard line. The ball is out at the 27-yard line. The Raiders just teeing off on Craig. Here they come again. Townsend gets him.
Townsend got away from Ronnie Lee, but you're asking Ronnie Lee to do an awful lot. You're playing against Townsend. Craig is down there, and you give the credit again to the defensive secondary, but watch how long that Lee has to stay with him. Here's Townsend. Lee's got him here. Now Craig steps back to the outside. You're asking really too much.
I mean, this is, why not run the ball here? This is ridiculous. He's going back. He is getting just nailed every time he drops back.
Yeah, but you're always in the football game. This game is so important to Seattle, to both teams, but it's important to Seattle. They've got to try everything they can.
This game might be over, though. 31-7. Let's see Craig, what he does here. Howie Long almost got him. And he fires to Travis McNeil to the 34. He's short of a first down. They needed to get out to the 43.
All right, Townsend, last time we saw him get in. Here it is again. Now Townsend goes to the inside. Lee steps inside. Now that's holding, but that's a good play. He gets his hands inside. He keeps him inside. They're not going to call that.
All right, Townsend upping his sack total here today. Now,
are you saying you want to see Seattle just run the ball and get out of here?
Well, you know, I think that this has been pathetic the way they have protected him. I mean, one run might just take a little bit of the steam out of that pass rush.
This is what Craig told us yesterday. He just hates to see it when they can just turn around and tee off and come after him. You got to at least slow him down.
Craig throws, almost intercepted at the 50-yard line by Lionel Washington. The pass was intended. for David Daniels. And another penalty flag is down, and it's going against Seattle.
Holding number 63, offense, penalty decline, 4th down.
And it's 4th down.
Ronnie Lee is having a tough time. Ronnie, here he comes again. Townsend's coming in. Here's Lee, 63. Look at this. That's holding. When you get your arms outside, and they called it, you can't get your arms outside of the man. Keep them inside. They'll even let you get away with grabbing the shirt.
5th punt of the day for Tootin. 11:46 left. There's Timmy Brown at the 24, his own 24-yard line. 31-7, the LA Raiders. Almost blocked by Nolan Harrison. At the 15. Brown gets brought down by Terry Wooden at the 22-yard line. A 51-yard punt. And we'll be back to the Coliseum in a moment. Well, perhaps some Seahawks are catching an early flight out of here today. The Seattle Seahawks have to hang around for 11 and a half minutes. Either that or those are buzzards hanging over David Craig.
Those are buzzards waiting for David. I mean, he's had a tough day. And
He really
I don't care.
has.
I don't care what anybody says. Look at this. He's 18 of 20 and 25, and that's not bad numbers, considering what he's been going through, because he's doing most of that on his own. That offensive line has opened the gates on him.
And he's been sacked 6 times today for 55 yards. And if you remember last year, you and I were at a game where he was sacked, 8, 9 times? 10 times.
7 times.
By Derek Thomas. And I think 10 times
9.
in the game.
Yeah. I mean, it was just, but they won the game. He threw a pass at the last to Scansey for the touchdown to win the game against Kansas City. Yeah.
I was wondering why he was a little jittery when he walked in and saw us in the room last night.
Run now.
Here's McCallum. And he's out to the 21-yard line and then pushed back by Rufus Porter. Well, Kelly Stauffer is warming up on the sideline, and he has not played it down yet this year, because remember when Craig went out injured with the broken thumb on the opening Sunday of the season, they went to Kemp, Jeff Kemp, and Stauffer might get a chance to get in there today.
I think Craig at this point in time would like to see him in there.
Yes, I agree with you. Well, look at that.
If I were the quarterback, I would. I mean, it's tough duty.
Total domination by the Raiders, their highest point total this season. 31 points today. Previously, their high was 23, and that came against Seattle, too. This is McCallum to the 25. Jeff Bryant and Jim Scow make the tackle.
There's a situation in the game sometimes where big plays happen for the team that's way ahead, and that's the Raiders at 31-7, because you got defensive guys that are going to try to do anything they can possibly do to get a turnover, to hit them, go out of what the defense usually calls for, but you better stay in your defense or you're going to get beat for the long one.
It's now 3rd down at 6. Schrader going all the way for the Raiders here today. He has thrown 3 touchdown passes in the ball game, all in the first half. And he connects. Andrew Glover makes the catch. There's a flag down, and Glover might go. At the 25-yard line, Patrick Hunter brought him down, but there is a flag way back in the Raider backfield. It's coming back.
It's going to be holding
against the Raiders.
Glover, was a nice catch and run, and he looks back there and they think, all for naught. I mean, I did all that running, and I'm not going to get credit.
Offense, 10-yard penalty, 3rd down.
That's Mosbar, the center. Don Mosbar, number 72, and we've got him isolated. Here he is on Jeff Bryant. Now, is this holding? Is this holding?
Yeah. From the front. You get him from the front, and then Max Montoya said, I'll take him from behind.
But the worst part about it is Mosbar ends up on his back afterwards, because another one of the defensive men just ran right over him.
9:45 left in the game. 31-7, the Raiders lead. Earlier today at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, Denver came up a big winner over the Kansas City Chiefs, 24-20, to take sole possession of first place in the AFC West. But with the Raiders leading here today, they'll only be a game behind. 9:25 and running. 3rd down at 16. This is Steve Smith, and that will get cut down. Eugene Robinson is on top. We have a Seahawk getting up slowly. It's the player who initially made the hit on him.
Boy, Rufus Porter just snuck inside and tried to make a play. Here's Davis. He's all right.
He's the player that...
Watch Rufus. Watch Wisniewski, 76. Look at it. I mean, he put him on his back. Just threw him on the ground, and that's holding. There's a couple other plays here. And here is Brian Davis getting kneed in the head.
I don't think Davis knows where he is. And the Seattle secondary called the trainers out to bring him off the field. He did not know where he was, Paul, because he really had his bell rung.
All right, here comes Rufus Porter here on Wisniewski. Now look at the holding. You see the arm behind? And watch this. That's a takedown, and Montoya takes him down. I'm sorry, I thought it was Wisniewski. Montoya threw him into Wisniewski, but that was holding. You said it earlier. They're not calling much of it, are they?
No, and it's someone like you that could speak out here today that could stamp it out, I think, league-wide.
Yeah. Look out.
Oh! Warren gets tripped up, and they're going to rule him down. Warren got back up and tried to run it out. Elvis Patterson makes the play.
Elvis Patterson was flying. I mean, watch this. He'll break by Robinson, and watch what Patterson does here. He's on a direct line. Bang, bang. Nice play.
We'll be right back to the Coliseum. Kelly Stauffer is in at quarterback for Seattle, relieving Dave Craig. And 31-7 the Raiders in the lead. 8:17 to go in the ball game. Stauffer's first appearance of the season now. Let's see what he can do. He's got to have Chris Warren and Derek Fenner in the lineup with him.
And there's no sense of keeping David in there. I mean, if you look at his stats, pretty good. You know, it was 18, I think, of 25.
Right.
But he was sacked, what, 6 times? I mean, he's taking a beating, and there's no reason to do that.
And that last series was frightening. Stopper misses his intended receiver. I'm guessing that it was Derek Fenner.
Well, I'm wrong. we didn't know. Okay. You wonder about Brian Davis. Here's the man that got kicked in the head on the tackle right there. He gets kneed in the head. That's number 34. Now he goes to the sideline. They finally get the trainer to get him over there. And they bring out this little capsule of ammonia, and that's trying to do real well. They put up some fingers, and they put them in front of him. Mm-hmm. They put up 4 fingers, and they said, "What do you see?" And he said, "Thursday." They said, "Well, you're out of there for the rest of the day." I mean, he's a little woozy.
2nd down and 10. As he threw, but Chris Warren makes the catch and gets a Seattle first down to the 48-yard line.
Does he get hit? Stauffer throws the ball and ducks. I mean, this is a little bit ridiculous. Kelly Stauffer going back. Here comes the defensive line. Watch this. Throw, duck, bam. I mean, didn't get hit that hard, but that is tough conditions to play under. Here you come sitting out on the bench for over 4 hours waiting, and then everybody comes after you.
And you know, as I saw it again, and I hate to harp on this, but Townsend was being held on that outside that time.
We're not even counting holdings anymore.
At the 48-yard line, first down, Seattle. Stopper in trouble. They got him. Oh, they all got him. 7th sack of a quarterback today. Jerry Markbright came in there to try and block for him, I think. There's Anthony Smith getting up off. But here we go with Scott Davis, Paul.
Scott Davis is coming out. Fiesel's got him. That's holding. See, there's holding there. Howie Long went by. That's a takedown. But he gets back up and gets in the play because Townsend helped out on the play. I mean, you're in a shooting gallery. Run a couple of plays. You've got 7 minutes to get out of here.
2nd down now and 13 yards to go. Well, they're going to stay up top. Smith almost got him that time. Travis McNeil catches the pass and slices through a couple of Raider tacklers. He is brought down by Ricky Ellison and Ronnie Lott. We haven't mentioned Lott a lot today, have we? That's a double. It's a double. That's a dangling participle or something.
Ronnie Lott. I mean, but one of the reasons is that Seattle has not been really able to throw the ball down the field. They're throwing the ball left and right, but not down the field.
And really early, the only thing that was available to them was that little swing pass to John L. Williams.
Well, that's what they just threw out here, but it ended up with the tight end.
It's 3rd down and 5. Stauffer hangs in there and fires one for a first down to the 39-yard line.
You know, you said about Ronnie Lott. Ronnie Lott almost had an interception. I don't know why he didn't. He looked like he was there. He was upset with himself because I think he misjudged the ball. The Seahawks got a first down. They're on a drive. But Lott almost had himself an interception.
Lewis Clark with the reception. Here it is again, Paul.
All right, watch this. Here's Clark coming down. Ronnie Lott, number 42. Watch this. You see the ball was thrown a little bit to his outside. He was in a position to make the play.
Under 6 minutes to go in the game. 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line of Los Angeles. Stauffer gets hit as he throws, but got enough on it to get it to Derek Fenner. That was Scott Davis that belted Kelly Stauffer just as he was releasing the ball.
Well, Scott Davis and the rest of the defensive line, they're having a lot of fun. It's a great spin move by Scott Davis. Stauffer steps up. He throws. Not much there. Wheat, number 74, was trying to block. Didn't get the job done. These quarterbacks have been hit before, during, and after throwing.
Kelly Stauffer, 4 for 5, 31 yards. 2nd down and 8. Stauffer's going to swing it out. It's going to be dropped. It almost ended up right in the hands of Ricky Ellison after it popped out of the hands of Chris Warren.
Smart thing by Chris Warren.
Say next Sunday, we've got a great doubleheader of NFL action for you. 12:30 Eastern Time, NFL Live. Then the season getting down to playoff and big playoff implication games coming up. You'll see one of these key games. The Raiders either taking on the Bengals or Kansas City at Cleveland. Then the second half of the doubleheader, Miami's Dolphins square off against the Chicago Bears. Others of you might see Denver at Seattle or San Diego at the Jets. And that Denver at Seattle game will be a noisy one up in the Kingdome to be sure.
I'll be San Diego at the Jets.
It is 3rd down and 8. Stauffer looking long for Chadwick. Incomplete. And off to the left side of the end zone. Down there on the coverage for the Raiders was Lionel Washington.
It was super coverage, and the ball, had Chadwick caught the ball, had been out of bounds anyway. The ball was thrown in the corner. It was a nice throw by Stauffer, though. Chadwick is working on Washington here. Watch the ground that Washington covers. Coming here, out to the outside. Watch where Chadwick's feet are. If the ball is there, he would have been out of bounds.
And that will bring up 4th down. They'll go for it.
Nice coverage.
Lionel Washington at the 36-yard line. It will be 4th down now. 4th and 8. Stauffer connects. That's Doug Thomas with the catch. Boy, this is going to be a close mark. He is right where he had to be. And in fact, he might be a little bit shy. I think he's a yard shy. They mark him at the 29. He needed to get to the 28.
You're right. He is a yard shy. It'll be first down to Raiders with 4:37. They can just about run the clock out of here with 1 or 2 first downs.
Well, Kelly Stauffer got his first action of the season. 4th down. You think Chuck Knox is telling him, you got to throw to the first down sticks. One underneath on the play. Didn't get the first down, and we'll close it out after this. Boy, if he could play against Seattle every Sunday, huh, Paul?
Isn't that amazing? That's a really amazing stat.
His day is done, and now he's handed it over to this man, Vince Evans. 1st and 10 Raiders after Seattle turned it over on downs. They give to Steve Smith, and Smith is over the 30 to the 32-yard line. Getting back to Schrader for a second. He was 15 out of 18 on the day for 222 yards and 3 touchdowns. And the only mistake he made was he fumbled once.
Yeah, on the sack. He was really not pressured as much. And we talked to Cortez Kennedy and Coach Tom Catlin yesterday talking about what the defense had to do against the Raiders, and that was get to that man, Schrader. And Tom, your team didn't do it. They didn't put enough heat on him. The only time he really ever came out of the pocket is, enough heat one time. The only time he ever came out of the pocket is when he really wanted to himself on a rollout or a bootleg.
And the Raiders will move on now and go to 7-4 on the year as Napoleon McCallum carries out to the 35-yard line. So in the AFC Western Division, with this game well decided and the Raiders in the win column and Seattle over on the L side of things today, they will take a dip and go down below 500, but we'll stack up the picture for you as it really begins to take form. Now, Denver won today. Kansas City loses. They'll be tied with the Raiders, and Seattle at 5-6 has Denver at home next week. But the important thing for the Raiders is they have already played Denver twice, Paul, and beaten them twice.
Yeah, and the other thing, Seattle, now they really fight for their lives to try to get that final wild card spot. They are in a lot of trouble, but they have to play Kansas City and Denver in Seattle.
Evans rolls out, and they were right on top of him. I think this kid has had the best defensive game of the day. Terry Wooden, along with Rufus Porter, but Wooden has been there all day.
The linebackers have been very active. Wooden, and you love to see this on a player. He has not given up. Here he comes, Wooden. Doesn't take the fake, goes right at the quarterback. Now they're going to have to punt, but you're looking at 256. It'll be about 250 by the time they get it. And what are you going to do with it?
Chris Warren dropping back for the Seahawks.
The Seahawks really have a chance to get into the playoffs. And here's the situation, and you're not, concede the game, maybe, yeah, you have to. Just go ahead and run the clock out and get out of here and don't get anybody else injured.
So on the punt, it's Derek LaVille carrying, and he's going to be out to the 40-yard line, and that's where Seattle will begin with 2:45 remaining in this ball game here today. There's a flag down on the play on the punt. Steve Smith was down on the coverage for the Raiders. And at least for Seattle, they'll go back home next week when they take on Denver.
At the line of scrimmage.
Motion penalty called against the Raiders. Seattle's got pretty good field position. Why not just decline this and take the ball where it is?
Illegal motion foul on the kicking team. 2 men moving at the snap. Penalties declined. First down. It was number 43 moving illegally. First down, Seattle.
All right, tonight it's the real-life, all-new adventures of Mark and Brian when they pull one big adventure out of a hat and become magicians. Then it's an all-new episode of The Weirdest Show on TV, Erie, Indiana, followed by an all-new Night Court on a special night. Then for the first time on TV, the network television premiere of the box office smash Back to the Future 3, starring Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd. That's your lineup tonight here on NBC. Kelly Stopper is running the things for the Seattle offense and rolling away from Greg Townsend and connecting with David Daniels, and he's down inside the Raider 45, yes he is at the Raider 45 to the 42 and a first down. 19-yard play.
Giving Kelly Stopper some work, getting the feel of what it's like being in there, and he's been standing in there pretty tall.
Paul, who do you think is playing the best now in the AFC West? Who has that look, do you think, that might win it?
Well, it's neither. When you look at the teams, and it's really hard to pick a team, because here's Denver, they get knocked out, they come back and win it, but all these teams seem to bounce back, so I don't know who's playing the best.
Denver looked like they were sliding, and yet they come up with a win today in Kansas City. Kansas City looked like they were on the rise after a nice come-from-behind win last week at the Rams, and yet they lose at home. And we are now at the 2-minute warning as we have 1:57 left, and we'll be back to Los Angeles in a moment.
Touchdown. Sam didn't make a touchdown on it. It makes the highlight film.
It soon led to a touchdown, and Schrader had a day today. 3 touchdowns on the day. Stopper throws high, intending it for Dave Daniels. And now it's time to name our MVP of the day. The employee owners of Avis salute the game's MVP, Jay Schrader. He's the winner of the We Try Harder Award. Avis, the official car rental company of the NFL.
He had a beautiful game. Here's a guy that comes out here. He's on this field like 2 hours before the game starts, and he starts throwing the ball. He runs a little bit. He starts throwing 10-yard passes. He backs up and starts throwing 60-yard passes, and then he threw 2 51-yard passes. It worked.
Yes, it did. Plays catch with his quarterback coach, Mike White, who practically suits up in like a uniform to get him. That's a loose ball after Thomas made the catch. Still loose. Robinson had it for the Raiders.
And Robinson got it again.
Raider ball.
Dan Land is the guy to put the hit on. Here it comes. Kelly Stauber, first of all, watch this. Stauber stands in the pocket, hits, Land knocks the ball loose. Robinson is going to get 2 shots at it. One there. Now watch this. And he comes back and gets it there. Isn't that nice?
Well, that wraps up a perfectly terrible afternoon for Chuck Knox. And to add a little bit and make it a little bit longer, we're going to take another look at it to see if Thomas actually had possession. As they review the play, the call on the field is that it was a fumble and recovered by Jerry Robinson, and it would be Raider ball.
All right, Land hits Thomas right here. Ball is caught. The ball is knocked out. It's coming out on the way down. The knees, that's what they're looking at, were the knees down. They were not down. It's Raider ball.
Simple as that, huh?
Yeah. That's easy.
So Jerry Robinson checks in and ends up with the football. Let's go to the scoreboard one more time now here this afternoon. Denver goes into first place in the AFC West. Washington wraps up a playoff spot, and the Bears had a trouble with Indianapolis but then won it. Minnesota came from way back to beat the Packers, and the Jets almost blew a lead. The Patriots came back to tie that game and then won it. And Paul will be watching the Jets in San Diego next week. The Eagles win again. The Giants are winning, so is New Orleans at San Diego 21-14 in the fourth quarter.
And the unhappy Herschel Walker got a touchdown.
San Francisco beating Phoenix, and the Rams are way down against Detroit, as Detroit loves that home cookie, don't they? They get inside, and they do a great job. Coming up next, we will go to the NFL Live headquarters and the Head & Shoulders post-game report in New York, as Bob and the gang will wrap it up here this afternoon on this Sunday.
We're not supposed to promote anything, which I'm really not, but I got the Los Angeles Times, as you did here Saturday, and wanted to read a little bit about this, about the Raider game and the Ram game.
Mm-hmm.
What in the paper? They didn't have a thing about either team in the paper. They overruled it
on the 42-yard line.
All right, it's a reversal, and so the ball belongs back to Seattle. They did not have, he did not, Thomas that is, had the second foot down.
1 foot down, 2 feet down. He's got 2 feet down, and then the ball comes out. Now, I don't know why they overruled this thing. Here he comes again. You're going to see it right on your screen. Catch. 1, 2. The ball isn't out yet. It's out now. Well, that's close. But I'd have left it fumble.
And it will be now 4th down, 4th and 10. So take the fumble away from Jerry Robinson. Stopper shotgun, relieving Dave Craig here in the fourth quarter. Stopper throws. It was almost intercepted. Almost picked off by Gary Lewis, intended for Doug Thomas. And the ball goes back over to the Raiders anyway with 1:33 left.
Now the Raiders can run the clock out.
You know, I think coming out of the bye week, Dave Craig and Chuck Knox in Seattle thought they were in good shape. They had knocked off San Diego, went to the bye, came back and played San Diego again. But blew a game there as they fell behind 14-0 and then had a 54-yard field goal at the buzzer beat them. So they knew coming in here to this ball game today they had to have a win, and it was going to be much tougher to beat the Raiders than really to go back to last week's game, the game they should have won against San Diego.
And the hard thing about this game is when you take a look at it on film, offensively and defensively, this game was lost at the line of scrimmage. I mean, neither one of the lines did anything, offensively or defensively, for Seattle. The offensive line did not slow them down, and the defense never got to the quarterback, to Schrader, like they said they had to.
All right, the executive producer of NBC Sports is Terry O'Neill. The coordinating producer of NFL football is John Faratzis. Today's game was produced by David Michaels and directed by Andy Rosenberg. Our associate director, Ray Benassi. Production associate Sam Flood. Technical director today, Phil Doucet. Our technical manager, Steve McKeon. And our production manager, Chuck Bond. So thanks to everybody. Our statistician today, Ross Schneiderman. Our spotters, Chuck Panama and Ron Lux. And it's been fun to be with you again, Mr. McGuire.
Well, we were supposed to have a game earlier this season, but you got sick.
That's right. Oh, I'll start taking that vitamin C. All right, a nice hand for the Raiders today as they will, well, they thought they had wrapped it up, but apparently we have 26 seconds remaining and the clock has stopped. You see the Seahawks getting ready to head to the locker room. And now the clock has started once again, and that will do it. One of those days, he tried to bring them back at the end of the first half, but couldn't. And Jay Schrader and the Raiders were not going to be denied. Our player of the game, 3 touchdown passes for Schrader. A good day at the office here in the Coliseum. Ball game over here this afternoon. Art Shell has doubled up now with wins over Denver last week on a block kick up in Mile High, and then a win back home here today. And now they get set to take on who next for the Raiders? Whoever it is, they're going to be tough. We'll be going to the Head & Shoulders NFL postgame report right after these messages from the Coliseum. 31